your business decisions. You were not happy in Arizona. You wound up in Tampa. You went to Chicago because you got a good deal there. You wound up with the Jets. All of that together, knowing how difficult it is to be a running back and knowing that there is always a shelf life to running backs. What do you think of what Le'Veon Bell is doing right now, Thomas Q. Jones?
You know what? I applaud him because he's earned the money he's asking for. And I know when people say $855,000 a week, he's saying, you know, basically, I don't want that. It's a lot of money. It's a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
But when you're a running back of that caliber and you're watching other running backs get paid, you know, the kid from the Cardinals just got what?
He just got $13 million a year guaranteed. He's got $30 million guaranteed over the last first 2 years of his contract. David Johnson.
Yeah, he got a nice deal. Gurley gets paid. I mean, you're seeing these backs, and then you're seeing your production versus their production, and you're seeing how valuable you are to the team. I mean, I think the James Conner did a great job yesterday. He is an incredible back. I think he's got a bright future. But, you know, Le'Veon Bell is a different monster altogether. Game planning for Le'Veon Bell versus someone that you don't know how they're going to produce yet is two totally different situations. And I think that's one of the reasons why Cleveland was even able to stay in the game. With Le'Veon Bell in the game, it's a totally different game. So, you know, I applaud him. I think that, you know, sometimes running backs, we get shortchanged because they think we're a dime a dozen, but we're not. You know, there are certain running backs that are like Khalil Mack that are just special. And even if he doesn't have the ball in his hand, he's making an impact. He's just, the threat of him being on the field is enough to scare off defensive coordinators and players. So I hope he gets his money, man. I hope he gets his money.
You don't think Le'Veon was sitting at home just looking at Connor getting 180 yards? For the two things I'm thinking he's thinking, you tell me if I'm right then, let's put it this way, is that he's thinking, okay, that's the sort of tread they want to put on my tires. No thanks. Okay, they gave me 36 touches. Or two, they gave him 36 touches, and if we didn't turn over 5 times, they'd have won. Maybe I should get back in there.
I think he's thinking if I was in there, I would have had 200 yards. That's how I would have been thinking. Not disrespecting him, but just, I mean, they're two different backs. And he's also looking at who they're playing because the reality is, you know, Cleveland hasn't been that good. Now, I think if it's against, you know, New England.
It's Kansas City this week.
Or Kansas City. Now I think there's like, whoa, wait a minute, you know, because there's different levels as far as defenses and teams that you're playing against. But I think he believes in his ability. You know, he's got fresh legs. He's like I said, he's proven himself. At some point, somebody has to make a stand because, you know, they have the money, and for them not to pay him is just, that again is mind-boggling. You know, I mean, people will say he's injury prone. Everyone's injury prone. You fight through it. You're never going to be healthy. No one's healthy. You just fight through it. I think he's done a good job of that. I think he's definitely proven himself on that team. And then I think the most irritating part for me was hearing his teammates speak out because that's not your business. You know, football in the NFL is not just football. It's business, then football. It's 75% business, 25% football. The majority of decisions that are made are based off of business because it's $1 billion corporation. These teams, they want to make money first. They'll sacrifice winning for making money. I mean, that's the business that they're in. So for the teammates to kind of speak up, I thought that was pretty disappointing in a lot of those guys because I felt like, you know, when your time comes up for your deal, would you want him to chime in? Or would you want other players to chime in? Because it's going to happen at some point in the NFL. If you play long enough, you're going to have some sort of contract situation with the team where you either got to just bite the bullet or you got to stand up and fight. And that's what he's doing right now.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.